Welcome to Mindshock. This is your host, Bruce McGuire. This is live Q&A 18. We are back for more in our live Q&A series where anyone in the chat can ask any question. We are going to try to keep it on the rails, so to speak, unlike the free-for-all madness streams, but plenty to go over in the latest developments in the world, in conspiracies, sporting events, random psychology and philosophy. We already have some questions coming in regarding that. Science for scientism, the usual topics we hit up here on Mindshock, the podcast dedicated to returning logic and reason to a world where it is quickly going extinct. Logical fallacies are called out here, unlike anything in the mainstream. A lot of goofery. I think we might have to have a new tagline here for Bruce McGuire. Should it be, how much goofery can one man take? Is that a good new tagline for this channel? The new Mindshock channel here on Bruce McGuire? As always, if you want to help support the channel, help logic and reason to return to a world where it's quickly going extinct, you could donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, like and share Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. If you're not getting notifications on YouTube, make sure you sign up on Patreon. Even the absolutely free tier will give you all of the updates. And, of course, patrons do get priority for case topic, logical analysis, co-podcast requests. You can also be a guest on the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comments section. And memberships are back. You can support the Mindshock channel here on the Bruce McGuire channel, one and the same nowadays. So you can also become a member to help support the channel that way. Alright, let's see who's up in here. We got some of the usual suspects. Run Boston Bear with the first Q&A. These Q&As are, or the first question, I'll give the answer. These Q&As rock. First question, how scripted can they make a fight? Oh, wow. I'm sure you're referring to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, and I will give my thoughts on that in a moment. Truth Trollette, a scripted humiliation ritual was performed for the world to witness. Okay, now there's some wrinkles here, though. See, if Tyson was brutally knocked out, I mean, that would lean more in that direction. Now, he came out with a knee brace. His legs looked gone the entire fight. So this isn't a situation. I mean, all right. Do you guys want a logical breakdown of the fight? If you guys want to do it, I guess we could do it. These live Q&As are we never know where they're gonna go. That's what makes them so fun. Sometimes we end up talking Steven Seagal. Sometimes we end up looking at roller jam, the greatest sport in the history of humanity in terms of entertainment value. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. I will be starting an entire new series on roller jam. What else do we have here? What is your personal opinion on philosophers like Nietzsche and such? Now, that's a good question, Mr. Mark Collins. Wow, we could spend quite a bit of time on that. Hello, Rethink, Nominal, AJ Forever, Christopher Allen, Flat Bob, The Fall enslaves us all. Saddlebum, Lord Zed, the one and only. Okay, Flat Bob, Q&A, question, what's your opinion on the Mike Tyson humiliation ritual? I'm not 100% sure that it was a humiliation ritual. And for those that don't know, I am a huge Mike Tyson fan. Followed his entire career, read his books, and have watched just about every documentary made on the guy. And I've seen every single one of his professional bouts. So, yeah, I mean, we can do a logical breakdown of the fight. AJ Forever says, I've read Program to Kill multiple times. What an amazing and thought-provoking theory that book proposes. I have to admit that the case for Jeffrey Dahmer being a mind control subject is strong. Yes. And I went over that on the deep dive into Dahmer. That'll be back online shortly. The archive is slowly making its way online. It should be, I mean, I should have every single playlist back pretty soon. Still take a little bit of time, but it'll all get back one step at a time. Aaron asks, do you have plans to simulcast on Rumble and others? I've been looking into it for quite some time. Yeah, I mean, I have a few things to figure out. I'm also looking at a couple of other platforms that aren't popular. I'm still figuring a few things out with that. Welcome, Sarah Catherine, the Ant1747. Truth Trollette saying, except showing his bare. Wait, what are you talking about? The Ant1747 says, I remember on your Mindshock channel you were planning a Michael Jackson podcast. Might have been during your Tupac CIA plant. That was a doozy. Any update or plan on the Michael Jackson podcast? Yeah, it's coming. I have quite a bit of research materials on Mr. Michael Jackson. I do kind of want to get as much of the archive back as possible before diving into anything super new. I will be doing an update on the Amy Bradley case, the missing girls in Panama, and Delphi and Maura Murray. I'll probably be getting out episodes on those before I complete the archive backup. So those will all be coming within the next week or so, simultaneously with most of the archive getting back up. Flatpop says, I don't believe for a second that he was fighting for real. Absolutely no way. I seen his training videos leading up to the fight. He didn't even try. Okay, I'll address all that in a moment. Brittany's saying, I think they're going to kill Richard Allen. Would that be a ritual murder? That's dark. Very, very dark. See, here's the thing. There's a lot of eyes on cases now. See, when Stephen Avery was railroaded, not just the first time, but even the second time, they didn't know they were going to make a Netflix documentary on it. I mean, just the attention alone of the Delphi trial. There's been so much tension. Same thing going on with Moscow. The Moscow homicides. I'll be getting that playlist back up shortly as well. There's so many eyes on all of this now. I mean, just look at what happened with the Trump election. I mean, years and years ago, all of the fake stream media, people would have bought it. See, I don't think that many people are buying the nonsense anymore and the propaganda. So, I don't know. I think we're going to see some appeals. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think, I don't want to say it's harder to railroad people now. I want to say it's harder to railroad people without so many eyes on it now. I mean, there's just so many eyes on everything now. So, I'm not sure. Lord Zed says, Jake was further exposed. If 10-ounce gloves, I think Mike knocks him in first round. Caught him a couple times, but regardless, Mike is 58. Jake couldn't get him out of there. How about bare knuckle? Who wants to see them fight bare knuckle? That's what I was thinking. AJ Ferrer says, thoughts on Fox Hill Farm? How could that have been so thoroughly whitewashed? Have you asked this question before? Is this the one? Wait, which one are you referring to? The 85 case? Wait, there's Fox Hollow Farm and Fox Hill Farm. Yeah, I don't remember. I do not remember. I don't think... Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I have a file on this case. Or case says. I'm not sure that I do. It doesn't sound familiar. I mean, I have like over 100 cases I'm going over, but... Flat Bob says, I think the whole fight was just a big cash grab. Yeah, no doubt. Pinto Sack says, Bruce, have you ever played disc golf? I gotta say, I was not expecting that question. No, I have not. I mean, I've watched other people play, but I just, yeah, I haven't. I never have. I have played regular golf. I'm actually a big fan of golfing. I haven't gone as often as I wanted to, but haven't gone in a little bit, but... Lord Zed said Netflix tried to sacrifice Mike Tyson and failed. Okay, now that's an interesting theory. I mean, Jake Paul did look kind of terrified the whole fight. Brittany says, but I think this is the point. Look at how these organized gangs are connected into a national system. This corrupted our system. 99% of police corruption is from the money from the drug market. Well, see, it's not just corruption. I mean, we're dealing with pure incompetence as well. We're dealing top to bottom incompetence in addition to corruption. I mean, that's a huge issue. It's not one or the other. Truth Trillette says, I agree. Facebook, lots of people said the same thing in the comments of news and sports channels after. What are you referring to exactly? Mark Collins, do you think Jon Jones will fight Tom Aspinall? Okay, hold on. Let's do Tyson Paul, then we'll get into Jon Jones. I've also seen, I believe I've seen every single one of Jon Jones' UFC fights. Was his first fight in the UFC? Oh, Fox Hollow Farm, Herb Baumeister. Yeah, I do not have a file on that. I think... Okay, so you said you didn't bring it up? Somebody might have brought it up, but yeah. I don't have anything on that yet. Brittany says, people are waiting for the feds to come save him, and I don't think anyone is coming. So it will be humiliating for America for trusting their system that no longer serves the people. They serve themselves. Well, it's been like that for a really long time, actually. Decades and decades and decades. Oh, Truth Trillette says cash grab fight. Okay, well, that's definite. Okay. So let's do a logical breakdown here. Big Pine Sailing asking, what is Jake Paul and why is he relevant? Okay. Oh, wow. Run Boston Bear says, I've competed in 3 amateur disc golf world championships. Great sport. I've just never had a chance to play. Lord Zed says, Mike was in a wheelchair in the past, threw up blood. He has had health issues and is 58. Paul is pumped with roids. Netflix tried to make a real-life Rocky for Apollo Dies type movie to promote Jake. That'd actually be really dark and not surprising based on the owners of Netflix and the history of Netflix. Are we going down that Illuminati rabbit hole? Maybe we will. This is Mindshock. Dewart says, very happy to see you back. I did tag you on my latest Idaho 4 live stream. Also did share some of your case homework. Mad respect from J-Rod on point. Wait, are you J-Rod on point? Dewart Entertainment Network? That's the first time I'm seeing this channel name, I believe. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff on your channel. Okay. Let's see. All right, let's break down the Tyson Paul fight here. So, let's do this in chronological order. I mean, we went over some of his training videos before. So, let's see here. I'll put up some highlights here. Hopefully we don't get copyright. This is, of course, fair use. I mean, we always have so much fair use going on. And I mean, it's kind of indisputable that this is fair use. because everything about this is fair use while we do the fair use breakdown, all under the umbrella of fair use. The fair usury here is off the charts. Nothing but fair use. Alright, couple of clips here. I'll get them on the screen in a second so we can dissect this. Okay. Now again, people have always been bringing up, oh, he's too old, but look at his starting point. So let's say, you know, fighters start losing athleticism however many percent per year after the age of 30 or 35 or 40. The point at which Tyson starts losing that X percentage, I mean, it's so exponentially higher than anybody else. So at 58, that's like somebody else's 38. I think that point is lost on a lot of goofs. Like a lot of even so-called boxing aficionados seem to not understand that point. They're looking at only the number 58 without any context at all. So let's look at let's look at his training first, and then let's break down the fight. This is what the people want to see, so we'll start with that. Then we'll go to... Oh, then we have the Philosophers question, and then we'll jump to UFC and Jon Jones. That's the plan for now, and then we'll see how much time we got left. I'm sure we'll have some time. I'm sure we'll have some time for Seagal and Roller Jam. Oh man, I found so many Roller Jam VHS digitizations on all these random foreign websites online. So we do have quite a lot of Roller Jam footage to go over. Also, they should have got Steven Seagal for the ref in this fight to make it less shady. But, okay. So let's look at Tyson here. Okay. Let's what's going on here. I can't argue with that shirt. I really can't. I really can't. Actually, you know what? Let's make this comprehensive in true Mindshock fashion. Let me bring up the most impressive boxing training clip I believe I've ever seen. If YouTube allows, give me a couple seconds here. Oh man, it's being really slow for some reason. Alright, here we go. Let's make this truly comprehensive in typical Mindshock fashion. Okay. I mean, this channel shouldn't be flagged since I didn't put up the Occult NASA Patches episode yet. Alright. So, let's actually look at Mike Tyson at 15 years of age. So this is only with about, what, 2 years of training or so. I mean, look at the speed here. I've actually never seen a boxer at any weight class faster than this. I mean, you can barely see his punches. And a lot of people are so dazzled by the arms, but watch his footwork. I mean, this is absolutely legendary footwork. Because he's moving around the body, or, I mean, obviously shadowboxing here, but he's moving around his opponent's body while doing this. So, and again, I've gone over this before. I actually did a podcast on the greatest boxer of all time. I'll get that back up shortly. In my opinion, it is none other than this man right here. So, in his prime, somewhere around anywhere between 87 and 89, I guess. I don't think there's anybody that could beat him, and I actually don't think there's anybody that he would even have that much trouble with. That includes Ali, that includes anybody. But look at this. This speed is just uncanny. I mean, nobody can handle that kind of speed and power. And head movement. I mean, just defensively and offensively. I mean, this guy, he doesn't get enough credit for his defense, but his defense is just unparalleled, in my opinion. I think it's better than Floyd Mayweather's. Oh, Dewart says, I did a channel rebrand. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, slow down the comments for a second. Let me catch up. Lord Zed says they tried sacking Mike. Pinto Sack says, yes, I'm addicted to disc golf. Mark Collins says, are you going to give us your opinion on philosophers like Nietzsche? Yeah, as soon as we, right after the breakdown of this fight here. AJ Forever saying, if you believe that fight was legit, I have a timeshare in Islamabad I'd like to talk to you about. We'll get into it in a moment. We'll get into it in a moment. Mark Collins says he never had a fight where he took damage until Buster Douglas, then Holyfield. Well, Holyfield, the damage via headbutts is not legal, so you can't. I went over all of this in the. Have you watched the Greatest Boxer of All Time podcast I had up on Mindshock previously, Mark Collins? I went over all this. I mean, with his original corner, he's never lost a fight. So, moving in, dealing with Don King and going on drugs, etc. That's not prime Tyson. And he actually did have a fight where he took damage. He actually had some trouble with a rangier fighter, and I'll get into that with his issues with Paul that I noticed, a couple things I noticed. But a lot of people think he knocked everybody out in the first or second or third round, but he actually went to a decision with James Tillis in '86. and then he went to another decision with Mitch Green. Yeah, I mean, if you watch that Tillis fight, I mean, there was some adversity there. There was some adversity, and then also Jose Ribalta. That went the distance as well. And then James Smith again. That was 87 when he won the WBA heavyweight title, the unification title. He actually went to a decision with James Smith. That was after the Berbick fight. That was 87. So it's not. And Tony Tucker also went to a decision. So it's not. I mean, other than those are pretty much the only fights that did. But just the point is, a lot of goofs hallucinate that this was the first time he got out. The first time he got out of the, second, third, fourth round was Buster Douglas, and that occurred in the 10th round. And let's not forget the extremely long count that a lot of brain-dead Tyson haters like to ignore, but that doesn't even really matter, because that's not his original corner team. So he's never lost with his original corner team, even without Cuss D'Amato. So he did face adversity against Tony Tucker, James Smith, and James Tillis in those decisions. So the Buster Douglas fight was not his first time out of the second or third round. But a lot of people are just very ignorant of his record and have not seen his fights and are just regurgitating what they heard from goofs online. Jeff Hunt says, I like Seagal because of Bruce mind-shocking him. Yeah, I gotta get all of the Seagal podcasts back up, and, I mean, it's close to 30 hours of Seagal receipts, and we're not even done. I have more episodes I need to do. We didn't even get through all the receipts on Seagal. Miss Chicago, what are you talking about his butt? I must have missed that. I did not see that. I guess that was a good thing. What is everybody talking about? I mean, I just watched the fight. I didn't see anything weird. Was that after the fight? Or was that the weigh-in? What are you guys talking about? April 55 says Mitch would smoke PCP and get arrested for running through toll booths and not paying. He's a devout Christian now. That's interesting. Jeff Hunt says the only sparring done was during rehearsal. What are you talking about? April 55 says you should stream Samurai Cop. Wow. I haven't heard, I can't remember anybody mentioning that movie in such a long time. I don't even remember it. But yes, I do. Yes, I should. From my vague recollection, it was pretty awesome. But I mean, it's been probably 20 years since I've seen that. Probably more. Flat Bob says there's still another 30 hours or more coming on Seagal. Yeah, minimum. AJ Forever says the freeze frame of Douglas when Tyson couldn't beat the count is iconic. Complete disbelief. All right, so let's look at the training now. Let's look at the training here. So many years later, all these decades later. I mean, look at those. So let's watch his legs in the training. I don't know exactly when he injured his knee, but, I mean, look at this ferocity that was nowhere to be found in the fight. I mean, in the first round, and maybe this little bit of the second and third, we saw a little bit, but they were injured. So he's wearing the knee brace here, but he seems to be okay with it, whereas in the fight, for some reason, he couldn't move well. I mean, look how he's moving around the body. For whatever reason, he wasn't able to do that in the fight. I mean, we'll get into the highlights of the fight in a moment and break that down. Yeah, I mean, his leg looks okay. I mean, look at this ferocity. And his legs look okay here, where they didn't in the fight. Dewart says, in my opinion, Jake is paying for names like collecting their soul in a different type of sacrifice, collecting whatever success they have left in their careers. April 55 saying he blamed the Douglas loss on hookers and blow the night before. Well, I believe. Okay, so. I remember reading about this in his book a little bit, as well as from Rooney. But, I mean, everything about his trial, too, that sham trial, and his conviction and his time in prison was all obviously BS. But yeah, apparently he really wasn't training for the Douglas fight. There's also rumors about betting situations and etc. So at the end of '88, that's when Tyson left his longtime manager Bill Caton and fired Kevin Rooney, who had the same training methods as Cus D'Amato. Kevin Rooney was basically handed the torch by D'Amato. Kevin Rooney was with Tyson on his way up. He knew Tyson and all the training that needed to be done. And you could actually kind of tell once Rooney's no longer in his corner, Tyson's boxing skills deteriorate. Now, they don't deteriorate completely black and white. I mean, the muscle memory's all there. I mean, he still looks good now. I mean, look at this training footage. But in terms of what he once was, you can see the deterioration. Because he only had so basically, after he left Rooney, so he never lost the fight with Rooney in his corner. And then he also beat Bruno and Carl Williams without Rooney. And then Buster Douglas was also without Rooney. So again, that's not his original team. And for some reason, so many people think that doesn't matter. It's weird. It's like, do they know nothing about sports? I mean, not just boxing, but any sport. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Okay, see you next time, AJ Forever. Mark Collins says, Jake will have to fight someone his age and his weight, or no one will watch it. Miss Chicago says, Tyson's legs look like pirate peg legs. Like, yeah, the issue was his legs. Like, his punches looked good, his head movement was decent, but he just couldn't move around, Paul. He couldn't get on the inside. It was almost like he was trying to get inside in straight lines instead of around the side like he did his whole career. And even here in the training footage, like, his legs look okay. You know, not fantastic, not like in his prime, but they look adequate to get the job done. But that's not what we saw in the fight. So let's look at the fight now. Yeah, I mean, his legs look okay. So if this wasn't an Illuminati humiliation ritual, or maybe it was an attempted ritual, but it didn't play out the way people thought, is it possible? So is it possible this was some kind of Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan situation where somebody batoned Tyson in a hallway in his injured knee to make the injury much worse? Is that what happened here? Yeah, I don't think I want to watch that. At what point did that happen, Run Boston Bear? Because thankfully I didn't see it, but... When did that happen? Oh, Miss Chicago says Netflix accidentally showed him backstage getting ready. So it was before the fight? Okay. Yeah, I don't need to watch that, but... yeah, I did not see that. I probably only saw once they started walking out. Okay, so again, in training he looks pretty decent here. His legs look okay. And now let's see what happened during the fight. He was kind of slow and plodding. Tyson. So let's see here. See? I mean, where's the movement? I mean, there's just steps. Like, where's the side to side? It's like he can only move forward and back. I mean, again, like, let's play these clips side by side just so everybody can see how huge of a difference here is. I mean, was this a Tanya Harding situation? Because I really don't know why. I mean, because it's easy to see the difference here. In his training, he can go side to side and around, but in the fight, it's like he can only go front, forward, and back. And look how slow he is. I mean, he's still clipping him. He's still clipping the youngin. And his head movement's still decent. And he shook that off like nothing. I mean, look at that. He really didn't even wobble, though. Look, he didn't lose his balance, really. Even when he got clipped. But look, there's no side to side. It's all forward and back. Now, here's another point I do want to make. Jake Paul actually did pretty good at managing distance. Like, he's definitely improving. He gets a lot of crap, but... I mean, this guy's definitely working on his skills. I mean, obviously nowhere near Tyson. But, yeah, his distance management was actually impressive, I have to say. I am by no means a Jake Paul fan in any way. But his distance management of Tyson was actually kind of impressive. It's actually kind of impressive. Lord Zed says, Mike is 58. Jake should be standing toe-to-toe, in my opinion, but he's right. I mean, I don't know. If this isn't a fix, can you really blame Paul for not going toe-to-toe? I mean, like, he's still getting clipped. He's getting clipped by a Tyson without legs. I mean, think about that for a second. All the goofs who were trash-talking... I mean, even if this is fixed, I don't think he's taking those shots on purpose. I mean, you could say maybe he didn't try to finish Tyson because it was fixed. But I don't think he's taking those shots on purpose. Jay Edgerton saying, staged fight, ridiculous to treat this as real. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, look, Tyson's only going forward and back. Compare that to the training footage here. I mean, in the training footage, he's still capable of going side to side with his legs. But in the fight, for whatever reason, his knee seems to be really messed up. I mean, he's probably about half the speed that he exhibited in... I mean, look at this. He's plodding here. I mean, the head movement's decent, the arms are decent, but even on the defense, like, look at his legs. His legs looked completely gone, pretty much right off the bat. I mean, even here, look at this. He's so slow, and he can't move around. He's only going forward and back. Now, Paul doesn't have crazy power. Now, he let him off the hook. I mean, I don't know. Look, Tyson still looks pretty dangerous. If the fight was real, I think Paul was just really scared of getting caught with, like, a really big shot. Truth Trollette saying he was scared of getting a full-on blow. Distance was the only strategy he had, in my opinion. Yeah, Truth Trollette, if the fight was real, then yes. I think Tyson might have played a little possum, like even there, look, like I don't think that punch did that much damage. It's almost like he was trying to lure Jake in a little. Because, I mean, that was decent. But look, even right after that punch, look, it's almost like he was afraid his legs would give out. Like, let's look at this. Look at this here. He gets kind of hit. It looks like he maybe played possum a little there. Paul didn't fall for it too much. Here, look at that shot. Nice. And here, look at his legs. Look at how he moved there. It looks like he's terrified of his legs giving out. I mean, look at that. Look at the stance here. It looks like he's terrified that his knee might give out. I mean, very plotting. I mean, you could say he's 58 all day, but again, look at the training. I mean, just look at the training footage here. 58 or not, when he, like, with fully functional legs here, I mean, he looks pretty impressive. He doesn't look like he's afraid his knee's going to give out in training, but he looks absolutely terrified it's going to give out in the fight. Because even when he's going on the defensive, it's like, I mean, that's the best leg movement he's had the entire fight, right there in that clip right here. Right here in the 7th. That's the most he's done. And even that was absolutely nothing compared to training. I mean, he's just going front and back. He's not going side to side as he's coming in. I mean, that's his bread and butter. Look at that. He just went straight instead of going in from the side. I mean, his whole career is coming in from the side. And he's still landing on the 27-year-old. This is getting crazy. Big Pine Sailing says, yeah, I saw it, unfortunately. I think it's got to be considered in addition to the actual fight performance if we're questioning things. Okay. Flat Bob says, in my opinion, Tyson didn't even try. I think the whole fight was staged in a cash grab. Jay says, Masonic ritual. AJ Forever saying, imagine the Onion owners thinking that buying InfoWars would stop Alex Jones. That's like the goofs at Project Veritas thinking they could get rid of O'Keefe. Okay, yeah, we got to get into that as well. Dewart says no leg. Yeah, he had no legs the entire fight before he even got hit a single time by Paul. That's the problem. And again, compared to the training footage, he's got his legs in training. He doesn't have them in the fight. It almost looks like he's scared his knee is going to give out. That's what I'm seeing. It doesn't look like he's too bothered by the punches. He's still landing on Paul. Pretty easily, actually. I mean, the training Tyson would have never taken these shots here. I mean, his head movement is too good. Look, it's like he was scared his legs were going to give out, so he took that shot. The only reason he's taking these shots here, it looks like he's really afraid to move to bob and weave efficiently. Like, look at his legs here. And, I mean, he's still got some kind of gas. It doesn't look like he gassed out. It looks like he's just terrified his knee's gonna give out. And then they end the fight here. But from the very beginning, he has no legs. Look at that. He's only going front and back. He's not going side to side. Carlos says, why is Tyson giving little nods before Paul throws his punches? Yeah, no, that's just, he's just twitching in anticipation to move his head, watch. Because he does that when he doesn't get hit either, also. I mean, a lot of it's just muscle memory. He's so used, see? Nod, nod, and he still didn't get hit. That's just anticipation. Ooh, that was a nice one. I mean, even with no legs, look what Tyson is doing with no legs. Big Pine Sailing says, interesting Kerrigan theory. Well, again, look at this training footage. He's got his legs in training, even with the knee brace. Look at that. There's no fear of it giving out. Where was this confidence and strength? It was nowhere in the fight. So, yeah, there might have been some kind of Kerrigan situation. Alright, is there anything else anybody wants to discuss with this fight? Because I'm not 100% sold that it was definitely an Illuminati humiliation ritual. Maybe Netflix was doing it without Tyson in on it. Now, if Tyson needed the money that badly, if there was a serious knee injury, would he not report it? Like, let's say somebody did clip his knee, and he still wanted the payday. Would he still go in there and fight like a warrior? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. AJ Forever says, it was fixed, let's move on, it wasn't on the level. I'm not 100% sold on that. Like, I actually thought it would be more, if it were fixed, I thought it'd be more obvious than this. Because this is not super obvious. Because just as easily, it seems like Paul could have just been scared. I mean, if he's taken these kinds of shots from a Tyson with no legs, he might have been absolutely terrified of going toe-to-toe. So he just used the range, and since Tyson had no legs, he was able to do that. Because if Tyson had his legs, it wouldn't matter what Paul tried to do with the range. Carlos saying, that sounds like a fallacy, Bruce. Is it? Well, I'm not making a claim, so it's not a fallacy. I'm not claiming whether it was fixed or not fixed because of X reason. I'm examining several mutually exclusive theories, as always. Truth Trollette says, BPS, did Jake do a crypto scam too? Because I know his brother did. Or were they both in on it? You know what's kind of hilarious? After the fight, when Tyson said he wanted to fight Logan Paul, Logan, the non-professional boxer, said, I would kill you, Mike. When his brother, his much bigger, way better trained brother, couldn't do anything to a Tyson with no legs, Logan thinks he's going to do something. That was funny. And Logan actually looked serious about it. Do you guys want to see that? Should we logically examine that? Should we logically examine that? I think we should. I think we owe it to the Mindshock listeners. Let's go over that, because I thought that was absolutely hilarious. We could also examine Tyson's facial expressions after this fight. I don't know. I think it might be some kind of Nancy Kerrigan situation, and Tyson wanted the payday, so he went through with the fight anyway. And I'm not 100% Jake Paul would have been in on that. Whatever powers that be at Netflix may have been, I don't know. What does everybody think about that? Mark Collins says Logan is playing on his WWE character. Truth Trollette says they are both egotistical, prideful, and arrogant. Yeah, but at least Jake Paul has some kind of ring time to back it up slightly, whereas Logan doesn't. Christopher Allen says that will be the next cash grab Mike and Logan fight. Oh, man. Yeah, Logan Paul's a weirdo. I don't know how else to phrase that. Jake Paul is less of a weirdo than Logan Paul. I think I can say that. Alright, let's look at this clip from the post-fight, because I just found this absolutely hilarious.
Congratulations. Congratulations on him. I want to go back and forth.
Shift in the world.
That's pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, man. This guy's always had his coaches. Amr, Billy White. Rob.
It depends on the situation.
What does your gut say right now? Is this possibly the last time for you?
I don't think so.
You've got more in you. Who comes to mind?
Well, I don't know. Maybe his brother.
You want to fight Logan? Logan, I think he said you might be next.
Motherfucker, I'll kill you, Mike.
I mean, that's kind of hilarious that this skinny goof said that with a straight face. So his brother, the professional, the bigger, stronger, actually somewhat trained professional fighter, couldn't even take out a Tyson with no legs. And this goof is gonna kill him? I mean, even his brother thinks that's hilarious. Oh, man. Jay Edgerton says he would, though. Mike's done. I mean, well, Mike with no legs was still landing almost like easily on Jake, who's actually trained. I mean, what did Logan Paul? Logan Paul might have done some kind of wrestling in high school. I remember something being said about some kind of wrestling ability, or he played baseball. What did he do? So Logan's 29. So he's signed to the WWE. So he fought KSI and, of course, that Mayweather fight. So he doesn't have zero boxing experience, but... So he fought KSI twice. And he also fought some guy, Dennis, in 2023? Wait, that was boxing? Or what was that? Dylan Dennis, who was making fun of his fiance? Why do I not remember this fight at all? I do not remember this fight at all. Oh, wow. Logan looks even worse than his brother. I'm just watching the highlights of the Dylan Dennis fight. Just sloppy haymakers. Terrible footwork. And he's just really scrawny and lanky. Wait, what the heck happened at the end of the fight? He's punching Dennis while he's down on the ground. Wow. That went crazy. Wait, so what was the official ruling here? Huh. That was crazy. Is that a DQ? Yeah, that's a... Wait, that's a DQ loss for Dennis? That's weird. Okay, well, anyway. So Logan Paul has a little bit of ring time, but he's clearly not a trained boxer. So he's 6'2", 205 pounds. So he's not even really a heavyweight. And he's gonna kill Mike Tyson. I mean, I don't know. Look at the delusion on his face. Like, it's first it's confusion, then it's delusion. Look at the confusion here. And then how quickly the confusion turns to delusion. I mean, look at the delusion all over his face. Does he even believe it? So the boxer couldn't get the job done against a Tyson with no legs, and Tyson still landed a bunch of shots on him with no legs. And yet this goof's gonna do something. I mean, why don't they do it bare knuckle? Logan might not leave that ring alive if they do it bare knuckle. And if Tyson actually has legs, 58 years old or not, if he doesn't have a knee injury, or in fear for his legs giving out. I mean, look at this goof, Logan Paul. I mean, look at the goofery here. AJ Forever says, it's all about the money. These guys are clowns preying upon a legend who needs cash. Well, that legend did pretty good with no leg. I mean, if you factor, I mean, forget his age. I mean, a young fighter with no legs, I mean, that's tough. Verite Hunt saying there's something shady going on with the sun. There's vids out, they blocked the sun. Also, the constellation of stars changed lately. I'm not joking. There have been videos like that for at least 2 years now. Hold on. Before we get to that, Justin Johnson says, late here, but got a tardy pass from the principal's office. Mark Collins says, Logan boxed Floyd. I don't know if you'd call that boxing, though. I mean, a lot of people trashed McGregor, but McGregor actually put on somewhat of a performance. That, the Logan Floyd fight was just kind of sad, with Floyd carrying him. Dewart says Logan was dead serious. Let him do it bare knuckle. Let him do it bare knuckle. Who thinks Tyson with no legs would have still beaten Jake bare knuckle? Let's do a poll here. Would Tyson have beaten Paul bare knuckle last night? Wow, so far it's 88% yes. I think he would have, even with no legs. Even with no legs. I mean, just the speed increase and the amount of punches that would have slipped. I mean, he already slipped, even with those giant gloves. Tyson, with no legs, still slipped through shots. I mean, not even necessarily bare knuckle. With 4-ouncers or MMA gloves. Okay, currently stands at 77% yes, 8% no, 15% too triggered to answer. Can't blame those individuals. I'll leave the poll up for another minute just so everybody gets a chance to vote here. I mean, who thinks Logan would even get out of the first round? I think even Tyson with no legs. I mean, because Jake's actually kind of built. I mean, steroids or not, I mean, this guy's built up a little bit. He can take some shots. Who thinks Logan would... I mean, look at this frail, slender, skinny-necked Logan Paul. Who thinks he could take even one shot to the head from even a Tyson with no legs? AJ Forever says, last night was like a top 500 high school sprinter beating Michael Johnson in a 100-meter dash. It proved nothing. I don't know. I think Jake Paul might be higher than top 500. I mean, I don't know how high he actually is, but I mean, he has the money to really train so seriously. I mean, that could really put him... That could really put him in the top 100 easily, I think. Maybe top 50. Maybe top 50. Who thinks it's not that crazy that Jake Paul could be a top 50 boxer in his division? Dave Bagatka in the house here. The gloves were obscenely big. Yes, they were, weren't they? Okay, the final toll here. 83% say yes, 6% say no. Tyson would have beaten him bare knuckle last night. Carlos says, if it was staged, I find it sad that Tyson would stain his record integrity like that. Here's the thing. I'm not sure he was in on it, even if it was fixed or staged. They might not have told him. Because, yeah, it is kind of weird. If you've watched all his interviews throughout the years, he is so candid and honest. It does stretch credulity to think that he would take part in this, even for money. Even for a large sum of money. So if it's all staged, they might have not let him know that. Yeah, Lord says Logan is an easy win. Yeah, I mean, I don't, even if Tyson has no legs like he just did, I don't see how Logan can win. Logan is terrible. People think Jake is bad. I mean, Logan Paul has virtually no boxing ability. I mean, he just looks so awkward in there. Like, Jake Paul doesn't look super athletic, but he's deceptive. I mean, he has some really high level trainers really teaching him the tricks of the trade and technique. I mean, he's still not that good, but he has some kind of fundamentals a little bit. Some kind of technique going. Recently, not in his first fights, but now he does. And Logan has none of that. And he's just too skinny, and he's too skinny. I mean, he has no muscle. Mark Collins says Logan won the United Championships in the WWE. I'm sure that's going to carry over. I mean, do people not know that Mike Tyson wrecked people in the WWE? Did people not know that? Y'all must have forgot. All right, hold on. Let's watch Tyson knocking out WWE champs in the WWE. For those that forgot, Tyson is no stranger to pro wrestling. You know who was cool? Dennis Rodman in WCW was kind of awesome. Who remembers Dennis Rodman? Part of the NWO, the New World Order, in the WWE, WCW. Check this clip out here. Fair use, of course. Ton of fair use here. Nothing but fair use here. We got so much fair use up in here. Look at all this fair use. Look at all those fair use ropes. Look at all those fair use fans with their fair use signs. Look at that fair use ring. Look at that fair use shirt snatch. Look at that fair use knockout. Nothing but fair use here. Mark Collins says Logan talking about boxing Floyd on Andrew Schultz's podcast was hilarious. Yeah, I don't think I saw that. April says the Pauls are poster children for the digital era. God bless them, but I can't stomach them. I don't know. Jake seems half decent. Logan is insufferable, but Jake actually doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I'm not a fan, but I can kind of stomach him. Logan, not really. Justin says, do you think the Paul brothers are Monarch programmed? Okay. Now we got some Mindshock questions here. I remember reading something weird about the Paul's parents. So he's from Ohio. His father was a realtor. So raised in Westlake. So he started his YouTube channel Zoosh when he was 10 years old. Attended Westlake High School, named Plain Dealers All-Star Football Linebacker in 2012. Qualified for the state level Ohio High School Athletic Association 2013 Division I Wrestling Individual Championship. This is Logan. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think a lot of these new YouTube personalities definitely are. I'm not 100% sure about the Pauls. If they were, if they're, I mean, who knows what happened after they moved to LA, though. So if you're asking as children in Ohio, maybe not. But then they moved to LA. And they, they basically moved into an apartment complex with other Vine stars. So the whole Vine thing, do it for the Vine, if people remember that. So, yeah, once they moved to LA, all bets are off. As far as if they were programmed as children in Ohio, I don't know. I forgot that there was one video about their father possibly having some kind of connection somewhere. Apparently, according to the wiki, he's just a real estate agent. No military connections or anything like that, but who knows? Yeah, that's a tough one. I think that might have been too early. I think maybe the stars, the so-called social media stars that came after them, possibly a lot more going on in younger age. But, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if anybody's dug deep into the parents' background. I remember vaguely seeing some kind of video about it. So apparently Greg Paul is a realtor and American roofing expert. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they have other family connections other than their parents to some kind of military. I don't see anything super red flaggish from what I can see here. Once they moved to LA and started interacting with, management and all of this other stuff, who knows what happened there. But as kids in Ohio, I don't know. I wonder if any of their childhood friends have done interviews. I haven't seen any, but I haven't specifically looked for them. Does anybody know? That's a good question. Bus Drummer says, YouTube, the dark side of Jake Paul explains all this. Explains what? Muhammad says, Mike has also recently been healing with mushrooms. He does go hard, somewhat of a connoisseur. So he had been in staging events. Nice. I think, didn't Shawn Michaels say that Tyson actually punched him for real? I forgot. Like, I don't remember what happened there. I think he said he punched him for real. I mean, we could slow it down, see what's, let's see here. Oh, that's a bad angle. We're not going to be able to tell from that angle. I think he hit him for real. Let's see if I can find another angle. Okay, I have another angle here. Let's see what we can see here. That looked kind of real to me. I mean, just how fast Michaels went down. I mean, that's kind of crazy. He might have not seen that punch coming. Tyson threw kind of fast. That might have been... I think that was his head moving literally from the fist. Yeah, I don't think he had time to fake that. Yeah, it was so fast. That might have been real, people. That might have been real. Heracles says he did have an Adult Swim show, Mike Tyson Mysteries. Wait, did he have more than one show? I'm trying to remember. I guess not. It was just Mike Tyson Mysteries? Huh, I thought he had another one. Guess not. Can someone summarize the dark side of Jake Paul here? What did that go over? Bus Drummer says he ran a Diddy mansion in Team 10, equipped with torture rooms, extortion, Bitcoin, money laundering, blackmail, and tunnels under the house. Wait, what? What? Ivan Mecton says Tyson's ulcer operation could also have been a factor. He just looked so good in training, though. And that Tyson did not show up for the fight. So that's kind of weird. Bus Drummer says Tyson's family was threatened by the Mexican cartel. That's why Tyson followed the script. Yeah, I guess if there was some kind of situation like that, perhaps that could get him to do it. Mark Collins says, I think Sean said he hit him for real. Yeah, that's what I remember reading, and just looking from the reaction here, it looked like Michaels didn't even have a chance to fake reacting. Because Tyson's punch was so fast. Justin Water says, what talent do the Paul brothers actually possess? They're poor actors, unfunny, suddenly decide to be fighters. Some conglomerate has to be pushing them to prominence. Well, Jake actually took some of the training seriously. I mean, he's actually... I mean, I don't want to... Obviously, he's not great or anything, but he has some kind of fundamentals. Truth Trollette says, I haven't seen the video on Jake's dark side yet. I don't care for Shane Dawson. Let me skip through the video. And then we'll get to Nietzsche and some of these philosophers, and then we'll circle back to Johnny Bones Jones. Okay, so that was Shane Dawson's video. Interesting. Yeah, now Shane Dawson, I mean, that would be an interesting deep dive. I mean, it's mostly just them talking. I don't see any actual footage. PewDiePie did a video, Dark Side of Shane Dawson. That's funny. Okay. PewDiePie's another one that could do a deep... I mean, some of these YouTubers, yeah, it's kind of weird. Muhammad Osman, always loved Mindshock and Bruce. My knowledge and vocabulary have increased. Thank you, and your base seems to be a most intriguing group. Kind of cool to y'all. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I am Ion's cat in here. I heard Tyson's contract specified he would make substantially less money if he knocked out Paul in the first 2 rounds, and would make the most money if it went 8 rounds. That's interesting. I'm still not sure. I don't think he faked having no legs, though. It was, I mean, the whole fight, I mean, it was weird for a whole bunch of reasons I didn't think it would be weird for. Alright, so let's get to these philosophers like Nietzsche. So obviously, there's something weird going on with them in the sense that they seem to know too much, right? So, Friedrich Nietzsche, German classical scholar, philosopher, critic of culture, became one of the most influential of all modern thinkers. He began his career as a classical philologist before turning to philosophy. Born 1844 in Germany, died August 25th, 1900, age 55, in Weimar, Germany. So, yeah, I mean, what kind of secret orders a lot of these guys were into? It seems like a lot of these world shakers, these movers and shakers, intellectual or otherwise, it seems like they were all involved in something. Now, I probably should do a dedicated podcast just on Nietzsche, but it's almost like these guys knew too much, right? Just taking a step back. I mean, some of these, obviously, a lot of these deductions were influenced by those that came before, like Zarathustra. Schopenhauer, he was influenced by, obviously. So, the other thing that was kind of curious is, so he had health problems his whole life. He was the youngest person to hold the chair of classical philology at the University of Basel in Switzerland in 1869 at the age of 24, but he resigned in 79 due to health problems that plagued him most of his life. In 1889, at the age of 44, he suffered a collapse and afterward a complete loss of his mental faculties, with paralysis and probably vascular dementia. So he died in 1900 after experiencing pneumonia and multiple strokes. So here's the thing. Some people believe that some of these great thinkers, either they were part of some kind of secret societies or somehow they were involved in some kind of medium channeling, astral projection, some kind of an occult activities that gave them some kind of knowledge vastly beyond their peers in their current time period. So, what's curious, and what would be the cost of that? Would that be losing all your mental faculties? I don't know. But he definitely had some keen observations. Mark Twain is another one. I'm actually a huge fan of Mark Twain. People talk about him as a writer, but I think he was actually one of the greatest philosophers in modern history. I mean, Mark Twain has so many bangers in terms of quotes. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Don't let your schooling interfere with your education. If voting made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. I mean, this guy was just so far ahead of his time. I mean, he just seemed to be onto it, what was going on. Mark Collins says, I like Descartes too. Well, Voltaire is one of my favorites. Voltaire. I mean, I probably, that's actually a good topic. I should probably do like a big jumbo podcast on a lot of these individuals. I mean, Schopenhauer also too. I mean, a lot of these great thinkers, so to speak, were they too great? If this is all some kind of simulation, are they actors playing a role? Or, I mean, let's not fall for false dichotomies here. I mean, it's possible some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them might be in secret society, some of them might not be. Some of them might be medium channeling or whatever on their own from whatever they read and not in connection to the occult, secret societies, the powers that be, etc. This is, of course, Mindshock, where the only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. Bus Drummer asks, Bruce, what's your email? Right in the chat, buddy. Justin Waters says, Jake Paul has beaten low-level UFC fighters who barely box. Don't forget that he got his start on Disney Channel, a main hub of child trafficking and MK Ultra programming. Wait, what do you mean Disney Channel? Didn't he start? So he started making videos, YouTube, Vine, whatever, with his brother, and he wasn't. Yeah, he was hired Disney Bizardvark, but that was, what was that? 2016ish. 2016, so he would have been 19 maybe. Isn't that a little old for Disney? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, no, something definitely could have happened around that time. But I think the question was, were they programmed before starting on YouTube Vine? And I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I believe they were already in LA by that time working with Disney. So yeah, once you get to LA, the City of Angels, possibly the City of Fallen Angels, I mean, anything's possible in Hollywood. With their movie magic and occultism and all that insanity. Muhammad Osman saying, Mark Twain a goat? Full stop, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mark Twain, he also, I mean, I haven't seen anything from Twain. I mean, I gotta do a deeper dive, but from what I see in Twain, regarding Mark Twain, I don't see him being compromised. I mean, maybe he was, but, I mean, he was speaking out against the establishment hard. So Team 10 is a social media talent management company created by Jake Paul. What's kind of weird is that Team 10 was also a group of architects assembled July 53 at the 9th Congress of the International Congresses of Modern Architecture. Wow, that's a deep dive right there. I wonder what the connection is there. Huh. Yeah, I mean, we don't have time to go into all of that. Okay, so Muhammad says, Bruce, please do that. The philosophy one, these are even just for their intriguing thought process. The 1890 Germans, that would be awesome. Always seem to learn something from... Yeah, I mean, there's overlap there with Tartaria, etc. Germany also apparently had, like, the cleanest air and water and all of these things. People traveled from far over. I forgot where I don't think that was John Levi. I think it might have been a different channel on Tartaria, but they were talking about how Germany was just this great nation at one point around the 1800s, and then something happened, mud flood, reset, etc. And the world wars, there's some funny business about the world wars in connection with Germany and how that all started. And I wonder if I mean, if we're going with a flat Earth map with lands outside of the Antarctic Circle, I wonder if there was some visitation during Tartaria, or even if the Tartarians were really from outside of the current circle of Earth and the continents. We go over every possible theory on Mindshock here. Lord Zed says, what Jake and Logan did to Evan is sick. Who is Evan? Flat Bob says, Mark Twain is my spirit animal. Mark Collins says, I gotta go to watch UFC. I'm looking forward to a Bruce McGuire philosophy podcast. Please do one. Thank you for taking your time to answer questions. If you remember the epistemology one, that was interesting. I did one episode in that, but that's going to be an ongoing series as well. I'll get that back online soon. Miss Chicago says, Socrates is mine, Flat Bob. Well, you could make a case for Mark Twain being the modern-day Socrates. I mean, Mark Twain was just an absolutely incredible philosopher. Okay, so... Alright, where are we now? Are we going to discuss Jon Jones? Jon Jones and Aspinall? Dewart asks... 2 questions. Is it a chance that humanity was sketched by the times of the Egypt Empire, forming the Illuminati 13 families back then? Okay, are we going to get into where did the Babylonians precede the Egyptians, or the Atlanteans? Does the 13 bloodline families go back to the Atlantean kings? I've seen theories on that before as well. Justin Waters saying, Monarch programming has to be between the ages of 1 and 5. Don't you wonder why Jake Paul grew in recognition after leaving Disney? The same story as Britney Spears. Well, that's a different story than Britney Spears, because she was Mickey Mouse Club a lot earlier. But Jake Paul was already, what, late teens when he got to Disney? I don't know. I did have an extensive Britney Spears conspiracy podcast. I gotta get that back online as well soon. Okay, so... Okay, what? Did I miss any questions? Let's go back to the beginning. That's when a lot of these questions occurred. So yeah, Jon Jones, Aspinall. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Didn't Jon Jones say he wasn't going to fight people that he eventually fought before? I mean, going back years and years. I mean, I don't know, he might be saying a lot of stuff just to create some intrigue and controversy for bigger paydays. So, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out unless he just retires. So, could be that. Did I miss any other questions? I mean, not too much on Jon Jones. But what's interesting is Jon Jones apparently just was a crazy party animal and still going out there and winning all his fights. Up until I do not consider Jon Jones undefeated. I think he has several losses. I'm not talking about the DQ loss, which of course isn't a real loss, because that wasn't even a real... Okay. So, yeah, the Matt Hamill DQ elbows. I think he lost to Alexander Gustafsson clearly September 21st, 2013. That's probably not the podcast to do a logical breakdown of that fight, but I thought that was a definitive loss. Of course, he did KO him in the rematch, but the first fight was definitive loss. And then I also thought he lost to Dominic Reyes. Now, even though Dominic Reyes, he won a unanimous decision, he lost a split decision to Thiago Santos. And I don't remember thinking that Santos beat him. I don't remember that fight too well, though. Dominic Reyes beat him and Gustafsson beat him. I thought it was pretty clear. Like, I don't think it was even that controversial. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know why there was controversy. I thought there were very clear wins that these guys have over Jon Jones. But yeah, what is everybody's opinion here regarding that? And if there's any further questions, otherwise we will round out this 18th edition of the Mindshock Live Q&A. I mean, I know we didn't get to some roller jam, but nobody asked about roller jams. Lord Zed says, Chael beat Jon Jones. Chael never lost. Chael Sonnen. Now, I mean, that is an impressive individual. I mean, he never even lost a round, right? I mean, is it true that Chael Sonnen never lost a single round? I mean, Chael Sonnen beat Anderson Silva like a red-headed stepchild for 99% of their cage time together. I mean, it was absolutely embarrassing. I mean, he made Anderson Silva look like an amateur in his first fight. It was just absolute domination. Flat Bob says it's never too late for roller jam. All right, let's round this edition out with one of the craziest clips I've ever seen on television. I mean, I guess Roller Jam was leading the way, carrying the feminism torch in the early days. I mean, just absolutely incredible. Let's see if I can find this clip that I'm thinking of in my Roller Jam archive here. I am Ion's Cat asking, when is the Mandela Effect podcast coming? I gotta get the rest of the archive up, but should be before the end of the year. Yeah, I should definitely be able to get that out before the end of the year. Many years in the making. I'm trying to find this crazy Roller Jam clip here. I played it on one of the previous episode. It was one of the live Q&As, I think. See if I can find it. I forgot what it was called. Oh wow, I'm actually finding some clips from the 70s. Terror on Wheels, wow. This is crazy. Okay, let me play this clip from the 70s. Man, Roller Jam history is crazy. Was roller derby always absolutely insane. I don't know, like from what little I had watched of regular old school roller derby, I don't remember seeing this kind of insanity. I don't know if it was rare, but let's see here. This is from 1974. So let's see how they rolled back then. This is how they roll. Look at these antics here. Oh man. Trading shots. What the heck? Those look kind of hard. This is labeled 1974. Look at that stiff arm. That stiff arm was so vicious it took her off her feet. Ooh, look at those skills just jumping all over people. Oh, whoa. That looks real. Just like hockey fights in roller jam. What? Did they literally censor what was going on by focusing on the crowd? Oh, wow. It's like they cut to the crowd when there's some really vicious shots going on. What the heck are they doing? But they look pretty tough to just keep getting up after all that. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is like the greatest sport of all time. Flat Bob says Tyson and Seagal going toe to toe. I mean, wheel to wheel on roller jam. Should be called wheel to wheel. Oh man. Alright, let's see what else I can find here. Now I really want to find this clip that I'm thinking of. Uh-oh, I think I found it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I think I did. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be insane. Okay, hold on, I got it. For those people that haven't seen this, so Roller Jam leading the way, just a pioneer of feminism in the 90s. I mean, Roller Jam was pioneering feminism. Let's see, I mean, we're about to witness some true insanity here to wrap this night up here on another legendary Q&A with the most mind-shocking content and discussion to be found on the interwebs. Okay. So we're going to listen to this with the sound. I hope everybody's ready for this.
Denise Loden is skating with the men's team. Well, Sam Martin is furious. He wants to skate. He can't see why Denise Loden is out there. We saw this a couple of occasions last year when they didn't have enough men to field Rory, but they got plenty of bodies. I think she's just out there trying to draw more attention to herself. If anybody can pull it off, though, I think it would be Denise. Bossy Shalene gets out there again for the Sun Dogs. He's had a big game tonight. He's against Eric Slopey and Brian Krebs of the Quakes. And Shalene puts himself up and over the rail. Gets back quickly. You can hit that guy in the stomach with a shovel. There's the white pony. There's the white pony. Hey, Slopey, you gotta win a game, son. Look who's back to block. Loden. Playing like a man. So long, Denise. Rusty Montgomery took Denise Loden out as though to say, what do you think you're doing out here? They're yelling at Denise Loden. The men's team, Sean Marshall's down there saying, what are you doing? Sam Martin, what are you doing? But she says, I'm coming back out and give me a jammer's helmet. Boy, remember, Sean Atkinson spent that last jam in the penalty box. I don't know if we're looking at Sean Atkinson right now, Rory. Denise's team, the Sun Dogs, down by 2 as we go into the last jam of the game. Can she possibly win this game for the Sun Dogs going against the men? They sent her out. Atkinson called his jammers back. He wants to go one-on-one against his ex-fiancée. Loden's the only jammer out there, and Atkinson's going back to block and protect a 2-point lead. Toss out the rule book, people. This is just playground violence coming right at you. The Quakes had 2 jammers out by themselves, and Atkinson called them back. And you can toss out the anatomy chart, too, because it's boys and girls. I bet they wanted to do this for a long time. So they can do it on the track. Atkinson rips into Loden with the elbow. Waits for her again, gives her another shot.
You know what's kind of funny though? Can you imagine this airing today? Where supposedly feminism is bigger and better than ever before, yet they would have a problem with a woman getting elbowed in the face by a man, by this man treating this woman as an equal, not giving her special treatment, so feminism, so basically equal human versus human, not making any special exemptions for her, yet this wouldn't air today, but it aired in the 90s. Isn't that kind of weird? So when feminism wasn't as rampant and crazy and big everywhere, this was fine. But now that it is, because this is true feminism on display here.
He says, come on, you can read his lips, come and get it. Now Loden is going to be turned around.
I mean, I don't even know if this is, like, this is kind of real. I mean, this is, Roller Jam is like professional wrestling, but real. And there's no mat here. I mean, this is right on this hard surface. Like, he grabs her literally by the throat strap. And it's a, I don't know what, I don't know if this is it's a powerbomb entrance, but it finishes like a suplex. It's a suplex. Look at her body bounce. I mean, this is real. It's like the roller jammers are fans of pro wrestling, like kind of kids in middle school that used to do all these moves for real on all their friends. And so they do it like it's real. So they're fans of pro wrestling, and then they execute the moves for real. Look at the body bounce. Oh, look at that bounce. That's insane. Flat Bob says it's a power play. I mean, that looks like it hurt. That looks like it hurt. I mean, he didn't support her weight. Oh, she thinks it's funny. And there's some background trauma here. Is this his ex-fiance? Alright, let's keep watching here. Yeah, I mean, it's like all these roller jammers just watch pro wrestling and then they do it for real in roller jam. And you know what's kind of crazy here? Look at these girls here that are distracting the ref. So these girls here in the blue camo or whatever that is, they were pulling the refs away. Oh, look how they're cheering on. Let's watch the background here. Let's watch the background. Look at these girls in the background.
Come on, you can read his lips.
I mean, this is crazy. Look at the girls in the background. Look at them cheering. They are cheering so hard for this. Look at this. Oh, man, that's crazy. They're happy. And then watch what they do to the refs. So the ref's coming over to stop him. And then this lady is tackling the ref here to prevent the... Oh, look how she actually stuck her foot out. Okay, I don't know if this is real or not. This might be real. Let's look at these tactics here. I mean, this looks strategic. So she's going over to the first ref. Watch what she does with her foot here to block the second ref. I mean, this is play-by-play analysis of Roller Jam. So, look at this foot movement here. She trips the ref here. So he can't get to this guy to stop him from this very unorthodox maneuver. I mean, this is a pro wrestling maneuver. They do this in pro wrestling. But it looks like he's doing it for real here. Bam! Oh man, that's terrible. But again, let's look at the strategy here. Oh, that's vicious. And look at this here. She sticks her foot out. So in the middle of tackling the first ref, she trips the second ref. So if this were fake, would this be required? So this guy just, this insane guy just unloads. And now, this is kind of weird though. Look at her face. Because here, the refs... The refs can't stop her. Or can't stop him. She knows, it looks like she knows what's about to happen because she knows, if this is her ex-fiance, she knows he watches pro wrestling. I wonder if this guy told because this ref is tripping over himself to try to save this lady. And he can't get there in time. They definitely watch way too much pro wrestling. Oh, wow. Did the ref just stiff arm that other lady? What is going on here? This is absolute pandemonium. Watch what the ref does here. Oh. Did he just kind of half punch, half push her face? Okay, I think this might be real. Because that ref looked like he was pissed at her tackling him. It looks like he just kind of stiff-armed her in the face. Flap Bob says, Bruce, real or fake? I love it. I actually like the fact that we can't tell definitively whether it's real or fake. I think I have to lean real just based on how the refs were legitimately trying to save her. And then this lady got in the way of the refs, or the both of these ladies got in the way of the... Look at the refs' reaction here after this. Watch the ref here. He just stiff arms her right in the face. Like he got pissed that she tackled him before. I've never seen something like that in pro wrestling. It's like they're all pro wrestling fans and they're doing real pro wrestling while doing roller jam. That might be my conclusion here. I mean, this looks kind of real. Because she didn't jump either. Notice how she offered no assistance. And he brought her down really hard. Like, he didn't lift her up for the land. And look at the bounce. Look at that body bounce. Oh, that looked kind of hard, too. I think roller jam is real. Roller jam is like real pro wrestling. Look at the bounce. Oh, man. This is crazy. Look at the ref. The ref yelling at him. There's a second ref. And again, look how she trips the second ref so he can't get there to help her. And then the ref gets so pissed, he stiff arms her after the fact. Watch the ref here. This is actually this ref stiff arming the other lady. Like, watch how hard this stiff arm is. Oh man, look at that stiff arm from behind. Like, this ref was really pissed that she tackled him. Flat Bob says it's the most amazing thing to ever hit the TV screen. Oh man. This is roller jam is like real pro wrestling on the skate, on the blades, on the roller blades. Truth Trollette asks, I wonder if he's a cop or ex-cop. Wait, the ref or the other guy? I mean, this ref looks like he took it personally. I mean, look at this ref. I think this is the best evidence of it being real right here. Oh man. He just stiff-armed her for no reason. I mean, I don't know. Everything about this looks real to me. Like, she offered no assistance on the jump, and he brought her down so hard. And it's like the opposing team is cheering and her team is in shock. I mean, I don't know if they're that good actors. I mean, if they are acting, this is way better acting than pro wrestling. Something else is here says, this is all news to me. I've never seen dudes getting handsy in roller derby. Oh, there's plenty of this. We'll do one more clip. I mean, every time I start watching roller jam, I just can't stop. I mean, this is just the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. It's so crazy. We'll do one more clip here. I mean, it's insane.
Speaking of mental illness, Kenneth Logue's luxury skybox, she was having a good time talking about it, but Amanda didn't think too much of it, did she? Matthews off her back, and Blitch sets up, and Blitch takes Matthews down, and I mean hard. That happened on the other end of the track, and we can hear it, and now Timber. Oh, look out. If they're all like this, you'll never get there.
No, you can't take that kind of abuse through a whole season, and then what follows it up to with the Timber, like you said, Roy, there you go.
Full weight right down on her back. Conamack and Matthews are tooth and nail. Oh, Jamie.
Blowing in the air there.
So did Shea Brown. He's out of there? No, because Shea Brown railed her.
Got to give edge Conamack.
Although you wouldn't know it by that, would you?
Oh, no, you're right.
Obviously can block as well as Jan, but now she's going to get dumped by Conamack. That's all they gave her. But here's a big play by the Quakes. Stacy Blitch and Conamack just dragging her by the head just about.
I've been talking to a lot of cool people online, a lot of females, you know, guys a little bit, but actually, I've been talking to a guy in prison.
Game with you that was in prison. Has he even practiced with your team?
He don't need to practice, man.
It's Mo Sanders.
I think his stamina will be to bed. He's that good. Look at that. You're talking about good. Oh, my goodness. What a call. Me too, Jason. You're not getting by without a fight. Oh, look at Atkinson work him over. Oh, did you hear that collision? And look, now there's the convict, Devo. He's up in his seat, and his job, obviously, is to take care of Atkinson. Being stars right now. Did you hear that?
Oh, God, you see it.
What hits? Sanders, look, usually he's gabbing, he's talking, he's bragging, but oh, look at that collision. Devo, where did he come from? Oh, I'd like to send him back wherever he was.
I win. I keep the belt, and you stay away from my sister.
I'm accepting your challenge because I've been hunting you down for the longest. We're going to do this.
Race between Jason McDaniel and Mo Sanders. If they wanted to, that didn't mean much. It's like the early stages of a great horse race. And there's a great...
Playing the first half of this game. And look, what's Mo Sanders doing?
Oh, he's taking the jersey off. He's ripping his orange hot dice jersey off. Sanders has done it. He's got that jersey, and look out, Mo! Oh! Here comes McDaniel again. He uses the jersey. Here comes McDaniel again. Is right. Oh, they both go over the rail. They're both off the track. Trying to unbuckle Jason McDaniel's skates. Jason's kicking, trying to get away from him. He did it. He did it. You say anything goes in a match race. Jason's trying to skate like a skateboarder on one, but he's not going to be able to catch him.
Roy, he does not need to do that. What is Mo Sanders doing? That should not count. Taking his skate off. That's ridiculous.
He wanted to argue with success or with the logic that he used. And look at this man go flying. Can she get through there? Oh, she held him up long enough for Conamack to go underneath. Call off the jam, and that was a great example, an illustration of team. And now goes up high on the track to pick up a whole bunch of points. Sneaks down low and calls it off. That's skating. That's tremendous skating by Jennifer Matthews.
You know what, though? Jenny Matthews, the great move she did. She stole the leg whip from the Quakes just did. Great move by Jenny Matthews.
4 hot dice points. The Quakes did get 1. The fight continues. Conamack and Matthews finally going at it for Jason McDaniel, though, because he lost his Jammers belt to Mo Sanders.
And it just got loose.
I don't know what this is, but this is more entertaining than anything I've ever seen. I mean, they're just complete disregard for safety of any kind. I mean, look at this. There's not even an expectation of any kind of safe landing. I mean, look at this. There's just bodies flying everywhere.
Sanders. And it just got loose. He just went down. He have enough to whip Slopey through there. Yes, underneath he goes. And then ducks under him to avoid the punishment. And Atkinson inflicts the punishment on Weber and Davidson. I think he's by like it's nothing, and then gives him the rail by. Wow! Skates on the rail, and now McDaniel's taking it out on the track.
Man, you can tell he has some anger built up. He lost the belt, he lost his sister, and now he's taking it out on the Quakes.
Well, he and Weber have always been a tremendous chest-to-chest with one left to go. He turns around and takes two of them down. That'll enable Slopey to need it. He's a jammer. If he can get through there, ooh, a collision with Weber. Takes Weber over the rail, and Atkinson lands on top of him. Slopey skates the rail and gets 5 to score the points. What a great play by Eric Slopey to win it.
In all that mayhem, he had enough mind to get up on the rail and get by. Great play by Slopey.
Oh, my. Something you've never seen before, and we just did. Slopey skates the rail, jumps off, and gets the game-winning point. Tremendous job by Eric Slopey.
I get my skate out of your ass!
Speed 24-19, the Quakes win.
Oh yeah! How do I get my skate out of your ass?
Even the promos are better than pro wrestling. Something else is here says, this looks like there's a lot less margin for error than wrestling. I mean, there is no margin for error at all. I mean, they don't care about errors. They're just going insane. I mean, this is so entertaining. I mean, all of this looks real to me. I mean, unlike pro wrestling where you can kind of see where they care about the safety of their opponent, there's none of that here. There is absolutely none of that here. Yeah, I'm gonna do an entire series on Roller Jam. They also had an alligator pit. We went over, what was it, Roller Wars or whatever it was called? And that was from the 80s, and they had alligator pits added to the skating rink. It was crazy. And just absolutely crazy. Flat Bob asks, Bruce, can you send me all of your Roller Jam archives? Yeah, no, I'm gonna do an entire series on it. We're gonna go over everything. Tweak says, Bruce, do you think Columbine MK Ultra could have been for the purpose of seeing how much of the narrative they can control in anticipation for their upcoming September surprise 2 years later? I'm not sure about the exact connection there. There may have been overlap. I Am Ion's Cat asking, wasn't there lingerie Roller Jam? There was some kind of what was it called? Some kind of disrobing Roller Jam that I played. I played it on one of the other Q&As. It was pretty crazy. But we're going to wrap it up now. Plenty more to come. The Columbine stuff should be back online within the next few days. So, all right. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us for another edition of Mindshock Live Q&A. You never know where the conversation's gonna go. If you want to help support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. You can also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube. Help support the channel that way. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off. Catch you guys next time.